Hi guys, welcome back to the Tegiwa YouTube channel. Today we are doing the ultimate intake test for the Civic FL5. As you can see, we've got our FL5 behind us. It's fresh from a service. We've got 8 different intakes that we're going to be testing today. We're joined by Matt Howard, aka Not Even That Fast. Would you like to introduce yourself, Matt?
Yeah, you might have seen some of the other tests we've done on my old GR Yaris. We did a similar test. We've got even more intakes this time. Yeah, so I think we're ready to go.
Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting because we've got a few different variants. We've got open cones, we've got enclosed cones, and I've even got one I've put down as semi-enclosed. So I don't know if that's a thing, I might have made that up. We're going to start with the OEM intake. So that will be our benchmark for today. Then we're going to drop in the K&N panel filter, because why not? Just to see if it just does make a difference or what that does. So prices start from £65 all the way up to £1,757. So there should be something in here for
everybody, yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the ones you've got to pay to play, haven't you?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how more budget options compare with the really expensive ones. But yeah, a little bit about the Civic. It's a completely stock car. The only modification that it does have on is a Miltech non-resonated system, and it's a full turbo back exhaust. Yeah, this is kind of a test. It's not got all the bells and whistles on. Pretty much you can buy the car from the showroom and then choose your intake.
I think the chances are if you fit in one of these, you'll have probably done something similar as well. So hopefully it's relevant to a lot of owners.
Yeah, and the other thing to mention, which we mentioned in the GR Yaris test, is it's not all about figures either.
No, I mean, this is how they're performing on the day. On the dyno, real world, with different intake flows and whatever else, it might be different. All we can do is compare it on what we have here, share all the figures with you.
I think we're probably the only company doing this. They're super popular. You guys love to see them. And like Matt says, it's not all about the figures. So you might be buying it for the noise. You might be buying it for the aesthetic under the bonnet, because you might like popping your hood and seeing a fancy carbon intake. Yeah. There's a number of factors. But yeah, we're going to start now with the OEM run, and then we'll start unboxing the intakes and taking a look at what's inside. So the car's now strapped to the dyno. We've got the stock box on. We're going to give it 3 runs, and this will basically be our benchmark for the day. We're going to do all the runs with the bonnets down, because that's what it'll be like on the road. So yeah, let's crack on with it. Excited to get it underway. So we just finished benchmarking the stock airbox. As we mentioned, the only modification on the car is a Miltech non-resonated system, so that's why the power is slightly higher than the factory quote of 327 horsepower. So it did in fact make 334.1 horsepower, so really healthy. So next up is the GruppeM. GruppeM?
GruppeM, yeah.
GruppeM. What are we saying?
Just whatever you like, mate.
I'm going to go GruppeM then. You're going to go with that.
I've always said GruppeM.
By the way, this is the most expensive that we're testing today. £1,757.88. Should be good for that kind of money.
Yeah.
You think?
I think sort of echoing the Yaris intake test, GruppeM was the most expensive there, but it fitted like a factory airbox, didn't it? And it was, it still gave us good power. Not quite the peak on the day, but we'll see if that changes on this test.
And interestingly, it's the only Japanese intake that we've got. For our Japanese car. So yeah. Let's crack it open and have a look what's inside. I'll go for it. I'm gone for it. Here we go. Oh no, we've got the
noodles.
Noodles. If you watch the GR Yaris intake video, I think I ate one at one point.
I think you ate several.
They're not very nice. Don't eat them.
No.
So
Dave.
Sorry. My friend
Dave.
He was there for me in the end.
Oh, Dave.
Oh, this is like an adult, what's the thing where you put your hand in the box and get a prize out?
No.
Lucky dip. It's an adult's lucky dip.
Oh, we do have a nice sticker as well.
Oh, thanks, GruppeM. Bit of heat shield, well not heat shield, heat tape.
Yeah, heat reflective
Not
tape.
seen that
yeah.
yet, have we?
No, lots of brackets.
Ah, we've just come back from Japan. I should know better that we read from right to left
Yes.
in Asia. Yeah, I guess it's all supposed to be together, but there's colour instructions in there. Open them the other way around to what you used to. But that's a good touch.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like we're going to be seeing a lot of red to sort of match the factory sort of cam cover. With these parts here, these look like, you know, these are really nice and smooth. Look like they're going to guide the air in nicely.
The inside as well, I have to say, this is all very smooth, whereas on the others,
Yeah.
it was smooth, but it was like almost, this has got like a coating, would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. And the weave is like a 1x1 weave. And it's just...
Smelly.
It is smelly, but it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah. It's really, really good quality. Like
Really
I say,
premium.
That's what you'd expect. They've been in the game a long time. You know, they were sort of the go-to intake design for the EP3, DC5, and FD2 as well. They do really well on those. They know what they're doing, and it should fit and perform great. So let's get it on.
Yeah, let's see if it's worth the money. So we've been fitting this kit for probably 45 minutes or so.
Yeah, when did we start it? Yeah, it's honestly, 40 minutes. We thought this day was in the bag.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to go home early.
The other thing is with this kit, it is the most money, but this requires the most assembly, whereas we reckon that GruppeM could probably do a lot of this.
There's not that many more parts to this than there are for the Aventuri, but the Aventuri you get it and it's completely assembled.
Kind of a mad one, really.
A bit annoying for a group test, to be fair.
Well, we've just finished the GruppeM Intake, haven't we, Matt?
We have. Yeah.
How did that take?
It's taken us best part of an hour, which, in fairness, if you bought this intake and you've given yourself a Saturday morning to install it, it's not that bad.
An hour is nothing, but in comparison to the others,
significantly more than all the others took, and that is because things like, you know, you need to take bits of the bumper off, you needed to use liquid gasket on parts to put it all together. You know, there's probably more parts to this than there are in any of the other kits. However, a lot of the other kits, like the Aventuri, for example, where there is a lot of parts, that comes pre-assembled. We'll give a little tour of this intake. There's quite a lot to it. If we look down into the grille, we can see a sort of tongue, and that is the start of the scoop. It goes up here and into here, and that's the main sort of way into the airbox. We also have this in true sort of GruppeM style. There's a second entry into the airbox. We saw that on the Yaris too, and that's just making sure there's as much access to fresh cold air as possible. Got a little filter down here. The MAF is just out of sight underneath, and then we retain these this standard Honda pipe work there. So without further ado,
yeah, it's an intricate kit, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the red matches this quite nicely. Actually,
Yeah,
it's a bit orangey, but you know, it's okay. It's not offensive.
No, it's all right.
But they've obviously spent a lot of time packing all the intricate detail into quite a small space.
I can't imagine how difficult it is to make all these pieces and make them fit.
Yeah, not fouling anything.
But it does fit together really nice. I mean, it's quite tight just because it's a new car. It's quite tight getting the bits into where they need to be for some of them. But yeah, really good.
Let's see what it makes. Right, so we just finished GruppeM. It smashed it, basically.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, we saw 364 horsepower.
Yeah, so that was run one, straight to 364 horsepower after a little bit of warming up on the rollers. However, we are a little bit concerned that that's because it took so long to fit that it's cooled down quite a bit. The engine bay is noticeably cooler when we've, when we finished fitting it. So we just couldn't replicate that. We ran the rest of the runs around here, which was 349.9, which I think is probably a bit more realistic, and that's probably a bit more true to how the others were tested in terms of the temperatures in the dyno, the actual intake air temp as well. So I think that's probably a fair representation, but this is one of the disadvantages of doing it where we're doing it. We are sort of subject to that.
If time wasn't a constraint, then we could let the car cool down.
Yeah.
Give it a couple of hours and really let it really be like you've not even switched it on and then do it. But it's simply not the case.
That's right. And there's all sorts of other things. Like we can talk about this in the wrap-up at the end, but there's like short-term fuel trims, whatever else that the car just won't have had time to do between changing the airbox. So, but it's a good indication of how good they are. But I am glad to see such a massive gain, even at 350 horsepower. That's a really good gain for how long it took to fit and how much it costs.
Yeah.
Because it is a great looking intake. It fits really well. I wouldn't be disappointed if I bought it.
No, and it shows that it can make 364 horsepower.
Yeah.
Some of the others may have had room for improvement. It's just that under the conditions that we're testing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anyone that's had a turbo car or even a non-turbo car, really, but if you take it out on a cold morning, the difference is really noticeable. It has to be probably about this sort of difference before you'd notice it, yourself. So
yeah. And again, don't worry, it is just a dyno, it is just a number.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what you're in it for, whether you're in it for noise, aesthetics, performance.
Yeah.
We can only show you what we're finding out ourselves.
Yeah.
There's no way of us making more power, less power for any.
No.
We're not biased at all.
No, we don't mind which one you buy.
No,
as long as you buy one.
Yeah, and this is our car at the end of the day as well, so it's a bit of fact finding for us.
Yeah.
But Matt's got to shoot off now. We thank Matt for his time that he spent with us over today. It's been quite a long day, hasn't it?
Certainly has.
So yeah, we'll shoot the outro another day. We'll take another look at the data once we've had a bit of a rest and stuff. Yeah, do a bit of analysis, wrap the video up.
Guys, it's day 2 of the intake test, although I am still wearing the same clothes, so is Dave, just for continuity, but it is another day. And we compared it against the best running intake from
day one. Yeah,
day one.
That was the GruppeM, and it made 364 horsepower on day one. So
yeah, that was that high run that we thought it's cooled down a lot in the 3 to 4 working days it took to fit that airbox. But on all seriousness, it was a while, so it took a little. It obviously cooled down. Everything had cooled down, and we ran it again. It ran 349, 348, 349, something like that. We ran it up again today.
Shall we have a look at the dyno?
Yeah, let's have a look at the graph.
Show the peoples what it made.
Okay, so we can have a look at the graph here from the GruppeM. That was the best sort of consistent power intake from day 1 of our test. That was a week ago now. So we've run it again. It's a little bit of a cooler day. Obviously, we haven't had so much, going back and forth on the dyno. So made a little bit more power. It's made 354, just under 355 horsepower there, 341.5 pounds-feet of torque.
And I think a lot of it may come down to price as well. Obviously, the GruppeM did amazing day 1. But it is £1,757, so
yeah,
it's a lot for an intake.
It's fantastically made. It fits really nicely. You can see where the money's gone. It's there's lots of bits to it, and they all look like they have a function for sure.